Whitney Russell has nothing to do with me selling the Blue Note.
Really? Oh, come on, Fox. Don't deny it. I seen the way you look at her. You must be crushed that she's moving to L.A. with Chad. Unless, of course, you're planning to follow her.
You better recheck your sources, lady, okay? Because the only reason I'm selling the Blue Note is because my father and my grandfather told me to.
And you always obey your elders, right? Oh, admit it. You're hotter than Hades for Whitney Russell. And it's killing you that she's in love with someone else.
Ethan and I are meant to be together, no matter what.
If you even whisper the word fate, I swear I'm gonna scream.
All right, fine. But I know what I know. We are soulmates, and we are gonna find our way back to each other someday soon.
I see, so wait a minute. Ethan's gonna wake up one morning and tell Gwen that he's skipping out on her and their precious new baby so that he can go be with his soulmate?
Look, I gotta agree with Whitney on this, Teresa. I mean, as much as Ethan will always care about you, I mean, he's a guy with high principles. He's not gonna just walk out on his obligations to Gwen and his baby.
Look, I don't know how it's gonna happen. I know it will. I don't know why the two of you guys seem so skeptical. I mean, you guys managed to beat the odds. I mean, you know firsthand that problems that seem insurmountable can disappear when you least expect them to.
My Gwen cannot lose her baby.
Eve won't let that happen.
Well, she better not. Because my Gwen could lose her baby, and then she could lose Ethan, too.
You're all part Rebecca for a moment there that you're actually concerned about your grandchild-to-be.
Julian, how can you say that? Of course I care about the poor little thing.
I'm gonna have to ask you both to leave us. There's too many people in here now.
But I'm Gwen's mother.
Rebecca, Eve wouldn't ask if it weren't important.
Thank you, Julian.
I can't believe it. How do you listen to Dr. Eve Russell and you wouldn't even pay any attention to me?
Do I have to go too?
It would be best.
Please. Please, Dr. Russell, let him stay. I'm so scared.
It's okay. I'll be right outside, all right? Save our baby, okay?
I'm doing everything I can.
Oh, my God. Oh.
Oh my God, I'm losing both of them.
Oh my God, Gwen.
You're wasting your time looking for a kidnapper, Louise. Sheridan left town because she was under too much stress. I just can't figure out why she didn't come talk to me, and I mean, I am her husband.
Well, that's exactly my point. Sheridan would have... She would have talked to somebody if she planned on running away.
She did talk to somebody. She talked to Beth, Gwen, and Teresa, all on separate occasions. And now that I remember it, she was dropping hints to me, too. I mean, I knew she was under a lot of stress, but I just had no idea it was that much.
Look, would you stop saying that, okay? Sheridan's disappearance had nothing to do with what you did or didn't do. Listen to me, somebody came in here and snatched Sheridan right from under our noses. Beth and Gwen were right here in the living room. Now, if somebody had come to kidnap Sheridan, they would have heard something or seen something. Look, I don't know how they came in here and took her, but they did, all right? And we gotta find her before it's too late.
Miguel!
I meant what I said, lady. Shut up, or I'll kill you.
Stop. You don't have to search my house.
Okay, we heard screams, and they sounded like they were coming from inside your house.
I don't think you understand. Antonio's wife, Sheridan, has been kidnapped from the cottage.
I think she's in terrible danger.
You know, you should want us to check out your house. I mean, you could be in danger from some psycho, too. I think that's the way to the basement.
Okay.
Oh no, if they find Sheridan and Charlie, I'm gonna spend the rest of my days in jail.
Somebody help me.
You think I've lost my mind, don't you?
Hey, you said it, Teresa, not me.
All right, I haven't, okay? Just think about it, all right? All the great love stories are about couples who battled what seemed like impossible odds to be together. Like Romeo and Juliet.
Who ended up dead, not together.
Right. Okay, well, forget the whole All right. I'll just keep using you guys as an example. Here you are with me, Russell. You're leaving everything that you have ever known here in Harmony to move 3,000 miles away to be with Chad. You're gonna miss everyone here like crazy, but it's worth it. Because true love only comes around once in a lifetime. You guys are gonna be deliriously happy together. Just like Ethan and I will be someday.
Oh, how about I get us some coffee, all right?
I'll go with you, baby.
Okay, I'll just scout around for some more books on LA.
You do that.
I can't wait to visit you guys with little Ethan. Well, make sure you get a place with a guest room, please.
God, how can anybody bounce back as many times as Teresa has?
Yeah, she's stubborn, isn't she?
Yeah.
But who's to say she's wrong? I mean, we overcame big odds to get together. Maybe she'll end up with Ethan in the end.
Her blood pressure's still dropping.
Hey, let's get her on some SpO2.
Right away, Doctor.
I am not gonna lose Gwen and her unborn baby.
I can't stand this.
My baby. I cannot lose my baby.
Hell's going on in there? Why can't they shut off those machines?
No. No.
Oh my God, no. No, she's dead, isn't she? My Gwenny is dead.
You know, we're also so damn emotionally involved. We're probably just missing something obvious.
I still think Sheridan left of her own volition.
Yeah, well, Sheridan wouldn't do that. All right, there's no way.
What if I didn't get rid of everything? I've got to get rid of any trace of Charlie.
Take it easy, guys. Let's just think about this, okay?
I know my wife. And I just don't get it. I mean, when we look at all the evidence, the fact that her passport's missing, some of her clothes, her suitcase, I mean, what more could we possibly need to know that she left because she wanted to?
A lot more, right?
Okay, Luis, if she was kidnapped, where's the ransom note? What's the motive?
I don't know yet. But I do know that Sheridan was taken against her will.
I don't think so. And I'm her husband.
Shit. That's a whole other story.
Cool it.
How can I, Hank? How can I when the woman I love, the one who's most likely carrying my child, has been snatched away by some nutbag? You know, I ought to just go tell him the whole truth right now.
Not now. Like it or not, your brother's married to Sheridan. Hey, he's out of his mind with grief and guilt. Cut him some slack, would you?
Yeah, but I know that I'm right.
Well, then focus your energy on finding Sheridan, not making things harder for your brother.
I gotta find Sheridan. I'll die if anything happens to her.
You'll never find her, Luis. I've made sure of that.
Somebody
me. Beth's mother better get rid of those nosy Parkers, or I've got a problem.
And those screams that we heard, we could swear that they were coming from your house.
Oh, absolutely not, young man. I mean, I may be a bit hard of hearing, you know, but I would have heard screams.
Okay, well, I would feel better if we checked it out. This is the way downstairs, right?
No, no, stop, stop right there. You're not going down my basement.
Why not? And what are you trying to hide?
My personal life would be none of your business.
Tell me, Fox, what is it with Crane men and black women?
What the hell is that supposed to mean? You talking about my father?
Seem like a bright young man. You figure it out.
I think that I already have. You are. You're talking about my dad, aren't you? And Eve Russell, right?
Gwen can't be dead. Please tell me that she isn't dead.
For God's sake, Eve.
No. Gwen is going to make it. No, she's... We want to keep an eye on her and the baby, but she's out of the woods.
Oh, thank God.
Can I see her?
No, not yet. She needs to rest. The nurse will let you know when you can go back in.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ethan, can you tell me what Gwen was doing this evening that might have brought on this episode?
Well, it's been an awful night. Sheridan disappeared from her cottage, and Antonio thought she left on her own, and Luis thought she was kidnapped.
My sister's missing. Why didn't anyone tell me?
And Sheridan is Gwen's best friend. I wonder.
Is that what caused all of this?
Oh, it's a possibility, but the important thing is that Gwen has to stay relaxed and calm. I know that's a lot to ask with Sheridan missing, but it's imperative if she's going to give birth to a healthy baby on schedule. In the meanwhile, I will do some research and try to find some similar cases that could help us to treat her during the duration of her pregnancy.
Thank you.
I'm going to get some coffee.
Hold on a minute, Julian. A couple questions for you about Sheridan's disappearance.
Not a girl.
Now, take this damn thing off and breathe some of this foul basement air. What's going on up there? That old bat should have gotten rid of those pesky snoops by now. Yeah, she can't get rid of him. And I will. Hiding something in my basement? No, come on, hardly. I mean, the reason that you can't go down to my basement, the door is locked. You see, and I don't have a key. Bethy, she hid it on me so that I wouldn't fall down the stairs.
Okay, well then we'll start upstairs. And while we're gone, you can look for the key. And when we come back down, if you haven't found it, I'll break the lock. All right, because one way or another, we're gonna find out where those screams that Sheridan and I heard came from. Come on, let's go upstairs.
That was close. Oh, I better warn that Charlie that they're still here. Where are they? Did you get rid of the brats? Not quite. Damn it. I told you to get them out of here. I promise that I will, just as soon as they come down from upstairs.
I'll take care of him in my own way.
Send him over ASAP. Okay. Well, the investigative unit's on the way. Luis.
If it makes your brother feel better, what's the harm?
None, I guess, but I just can't stand around here in the meantime. Do you mind if I go over to the police station, use the phones, check to see if Sheridan's been using any of her credit cards? No problem. I was going to check the airlines first.
But isn't, Sheridan a licensed pilot? She could have taken the Crane jet and, gone anywhere without using any of her credit cards.
You're right. Look, Beth, I appreciate you trying to help, but I think you and Antonio are barking up the wrong tree here, okay? Sheridan was kidnapped, she's in danger, and I'm going to use every resource available to find her at the police department. Hey, you're not going anywhere.
My baby. Let me see. Please give me my baby. Please give me my baby. No!
There's no one in this bedroom either.
I was so sure those screams came from this house.
Me too. You having any more visions?
No. None since we came upstairs. Wait. Okay, I just had another. It's true, Miguel. Sheridan is in grave danger.
Come on.
No. No. You cannot kill Miguel and Charity. He is Luis's brother, and she is the niece of the chief of police. I don't give a damn. But you should. First, Sheridan goes missing, and then two very well-connected young people are found dead on the heels of her disappearance. Oh, you are asking for it, lady. Now, will you just hurry up and get down there before they come down the stairs?
I am not gonna let them search that basement. If they find Sheridan down there, I am a goner.
I'll make sure they don't.
How? You haven't managed to talk them out of anything so far.
Well, figure it out, but don't you dare hurt those kids. Hurry, get out of here. I hear them coming. Hurry up.
Who are you talking to, Mrs. Wallace?
Huh?
You were just talking to someone.
Oh, well, sometimes an old person has no one to talk to but themselves. You'll find that out one day.
I thought you said the basement door was locked shut.
It was. It was. You see, I found the key, like you asked me to. You see? And I went down there, and I looked all around, and there was nothing out of the ordinary. Now, please, you two. Please. You go on home now. Go on. I'm okay.
Not so fast, Mrs. Wallace. I think I'd like to check out the basement myself.
You are my passion for life.
Ethan, I swear this is the first I've heard of Sheridan's disappearance. Rebecca, would you tell him?
Ethan, it's true. Pookie is as surprised as I am.
Well, if you're telling the truth, it'll be a first. Luis still thinks that you and Alistair had something to do with Sheridan's accidents in the past.
That's utter nonsense. That's unfounded conjecture on the part of an overzealous cop. Besides, I love my sister. Why would I want to see any ill befall her?
Yes, Julian was with me all evening. And I would testify to that in a court of law.
May I see my wife now?
Just don't stay too long. She really needs a rest.
Thank you.
Aren't you going in to see Gwen?
in a moment. Once you remember that I am your fiancé.
Yes, of course.
Just so long as you remember where I stand in your life. You see, Julia, it would be such a shame to see you do anything as suicidal as fall for another woman. Because then I would be forced to confirm Ethan and Louise's suspicions that you and Alistair tried to have Sheridan killed on one or two occasions. You see, Julian, I know all your dirty little secrets.
Thank God you're all right.
They said I almost lost the baby.
She didn't.
But what if things had turned out differently? What if I wasn't still pregnant with your child?
But you are, Gwen. And everything is going to be okay.
As long as you keep that baby, Gwen. God help you if you lose it. Teresa will move in like the vulture she is.
Thanks. I found some great stuff on your future home city. LA sounds like paradise.
Not the part I used to live in. But this is going to be a whole different experience. There are dozens of places I haven't even seen yet.
All I want to see is the Hollywood sign. There is a picture of it right here.
No, go ahead and take it. But it's still not going to change the fact that since I'm going to LA with you, I'm going to be leaving all my family behind forever.
Hey, does this mean you're having second thoughts?
No, of course not. I just wish it didn't have to be this way, you know? I mean, we are actually getting married. My mother and my sister should be helping me pick out a date or helping me find some beautiful wedding dress. Things that families usually do together.
I'll help you. Okay? Even if a lot of it's got to be long distance. Besides, it's not going to be like this forever. You know, once your parents see how happy you guys are together, they are going to come around. And in like a year or so, you are not going to be able to keep them away.
You really think so?
Yeah. You'll see. You guys should be like on top of the world right now. Think of all the couples who aren't together. Like Ethan and me, and Fox, and whoever that girl is that's got his head all turned around. Oh, she tell me she is.
Turnabout's fair play, Liz. Besides, you're the one that implied that my attraction to a certain young woman of color runs in the family.
I did say something like that, didn't I? Another time, Fox. So, do we have a deal for the Blue Note or not?
I don't know. It depends on how much you're willing to pay.
How much are you asking?
What do you think?
That's what I think.
No, stop.
What is with you, Mrs. Wallace? Just let me pass.
No, I can't. I won't. It's all right. I hate to admit this, but it's a mess down there. It's a total disaster area. No, and I don't want anybody to see it, especially not a child of Pilar's. I mean, she's such a meticulous
We don't care if it's a mess.
I do. All right, call it foolish pride. Or, you see, that's all an old person has left.
All right. Don't worry about it. You said you gave it a thorough look when you went down there, right?
I did, Miguel. I searched every nook and cranny, and no one No one's been down there for ages.
Okay. Well, I'll take your word for it.
Thank you.
Oh. Oh.
We can't leave. I'm sensing it again. Sheridan is in distress.
I didn't know it. Another blonde bimbo wants to spoil everything. Now I'm gonna have to kill them both.
Eve? You look upset.
Julian.
Is it Gwen? Is her condition worse than you said?
No. No, she's stable. No, it's a lot of things. Sheridan disappearing.
Yes.
My younger daughter Simone's feeling just terribly rejected. And I guess worst of all is it's Whitney.
Why, what happened?
She changed her mind. She's moving to LA with Chad. TC gave her an ultimatum and he told her that if she chose Chad over her family, he was going to disown her forever.
And she still shows the young man that she loves, huh?
I'm going to lose my daughter. My beautiful, precious daughter.
I'm so sorry, Eve.
Well, the one bright spot in my life is that TC's finally agreed that Liz has to leave the house, so I won't have to worry about her anymore.
Well, I thought it might be a little more than you could afford.
I'll give you half your asking price and not a cent more.
Forget it. The Blue Note's worth every penny I'm asking.
It's worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it. Take it or leave it.
Well, now you're just dreaming.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what your father and grandfather say when they hear that you have turned down a perfectly reasonable offer.
5,000 more and it's yours.
3.
Deal. Congratulations. You are now the new owner of Harmony's finest little jazz joint.
The owner of Harmony's only little jazz joint last time I checked.
Yeah, well, I'll have the papers drawn up for you in the morning.
Actually, I'd rather receive them tonight. I am going to write you a check, and I'll wait right here to have them delivered.
You must be feeling pretty smug about now.
Me? I think you're a winner here, too. Now you're freed up to follow Whitney to L.A.
And, you know, you're free to get your revenge on whoever it is you want to get back at.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that's money well spent.
Gwen, sweetheart.
Hi. Hi, Mother.
Ethan, would you mind giving me a moment alone with my daughter, please?
Not at all. I'll be right outside.
So, how are you feeling?
I was so scared. Mother, I thought I was going to lose the baby.
Oh, I know, honey. So did I, and that would be so tragic. In more ways than one. Without that child to tie you to Ethan, Teresa would be after him again in a New York minute.
Yeah, I know that it's late, but she wants the contracts tonight. Huh? Yeah, on the wharf. She'll be waiting for the delivery.
Well, where have you been?
Well, I had some business to attend to.
Oh. I was hoping you'd run up to meet that girl who's got your head all turned around.
No, I have not, but I did make another life decision.
What's that?
Well, you two are gonna have a neighbor in LA. I'm gonna move there myself.
Now, who are you to tell me that I can't go to the police station? I meant that you have to take Beth home. Did you forget your girlfriend's pregnant?
That's right.
Sorry, Beth. Just that I was a little worried about Sheridan.
It's all right. Really, if you just want to go ahead and go straight to the station, I'll call a cab. Or maybe Hank could just drop me home.
No. Antonio's right. You know, you've been very patient, and you must be exhausted. I'll take you myself.
Sheridan's nearby. I can feel it.
Okay, I'm gonna do what I should have done straight off. I'm gonna call Louise and get him over here to take a look around.
Okay, good.
I've got to stop him.
No!
What is it?
I tell you, that really surprises me, because I thought Liz had TC completely bamboozled.
Oh, she still does. He thinks the world of her. But I explained to him that with all our family problems, this stranger living in the garage apartment is the last thing that we need.
What if she tells TC that, she's your sister?
Well, she can't. She just can't. I have to believe that that's the one problem that I don't have to deal with.
Miss Sanborn? Fox Crane told me I'd find you here. He said you'd be expecting some important papers from Crane Industries.
Yes, I am.
All right.
Thank you very much.
And thank you.
Oh, wait till my sister hears that I am the new owner of the Blue Note. The plans I have for that place. And her.
How can you say that? Mother, Ethan is committed to me. Of course he'd stay married to me even if I lost this baby.
Gwen, I swear, sometimes you have never learned anything from me. I mean, Ethan is a man. Look, and men are not guided by their responsibility. No, they are ruled by one thing and one thing only, and it is a certain body part.
I get the point, Mother. Ethan is not like other men. He would stay married to me even if I lost this baby. We are married and he loves me. I know he does.
Thank God my child is all right.
Okay, since when do you want to leave Harmony? I thought you were just settling in here.
Well, yeah, whatever, but, you know, things change. Besides, you know, I've always wanted to spend more time on the West Coast, and now's as good a time as any.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, man. I mean, it's gonna be nice to know someone out there, huh?
I know, I can't believe it. It's such a coincidence.
Oh, no. Whitney hates it when I use the word fate, but that's what this is, man. All you guys moving out there at the same time. Amazing things happen all the time. And maybe you'll finally believe me when I'm sending you guys my invitations to my wedding to Ethan.
Really? Yeah. What's, she been smoking? What?
That's the thing, man. This is Teresa, stone cold sober.
Okay. Okay. Laugh at me, but you know what? The way I figure it, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe in your dreams, you might as well crawl into a hole, give up, and just that right now.
I think you're right. I do.
So, Fox, what are you gonna do once you're out there?
What am I gonna do? You know, I don't know. It's kind of up in the air, but we'll just kind of go out there and see what happens.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be great to have a friend nearby.
Yeah, it'll be cool. We can all hang out, you know, keep each other company.
Yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Luis, come on. I'll just call a cab to take me
No,
home.
forget it. Look, I'll meet you guys down at the station as soon as I get Beth home safe and sound.
No, but I could
No
just...
buts, all right? I just have to make one call, then we'll leave. It'll only take a minute.
I just hope Charlie's got everything under control when we get there.
What is it? All right, why'd you stop me?
Well, well, see, what I meant...
Sensing something, Miguel. Something besides Sheridan.
Okay, look, I just want to call my brother Luis and get him over here. If there's a chance that Sheridan's nearby, then he needs to know.
See, that's just it. That is just it. I have something to tell you. I know where that scream you heard came from. Biddy's gonna tell them about Sheridan. I gotta kill all 3 of them.